Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So every year at the end of the year, places like Giffords and Everytown publish their gun control scorecard for the entire country. They do a breakdown of each state with a point system from 0 points being zero gun control whatsoever to 100 points being the most gun control that a state could possibly have. Basically, that would be like eliminating the Second Amendment altogether. Well, this map allows us to see which states are the worst for your Second Amendment rights and which states are the best. So if you're curious where your state lands or what grade you got, stay tuned because it's kind of interesting. Now, real quick, if you're somebody who carries to defend yourself or your loved ones and you're doing so without an attorney in your back pocket, you are doing it the wrong way, because heaven forbid you're out there and one day you actually find the need to defend yourself and the details get a little bit fuzzy. You could be the one that ends up in handcuffs, in which case you will need somebody on your side, and that's where Attorneys on Retainer comes in. Now, with that Attorneys on Retainer membership, you do have an attorney in your back pocket, because if something, God forbid, happens, all you have to do is simply call the number on the back of that card, and you will speak to an actual attorney who can guide you through the next steps. They will also get an attorney out there to defend you. You can choose one from their network, or you can choose your own attorney. They are not an insurance company. These are attorneys that are working directly for you. So it is the same as having an attorney ready to go in your back pocket at all times. Now, like I said before, if you're somebody who carries to defend yourself or your loved ones, don't go it alone. Check out the link below to Attorneys on Retainer. I've got some discounts down there as well. But this is extremely important to your life, your livelihood, and your freedom. Okay, so let's go and talk about which states are the best and which states are the worst for gun control based off these Giffords results. Now, we can start off by just taking a look at a map, a generalized map that has a grade for each state. Now, the way that this works is Giffords says if it has a ton of gun control, then it gets a higher grade. If it has less gun control, then it gets a lower grade. So places with a ton of laws like California and New York, those are going to get A's. Places that don't have as many laws regulating your rights like Georgia and Alabama and Kentucky, those are going to get F's according to Gifford. So if you want to talk about which state is good for the Second Amendment, you'd simply flip those grades around. Okay, so here's what the list looks like right here. In the way that they work it is, the state that has the most restrictions on your Second Amendment rights is going to be at the top of their list. That gets the best rating. So basically what you want to do is you want to flip this. We're going to start off with the states that are worst for your Second Amendment rights. So they have the state of California obviously being in the lead. They give California a score, overall score of 89.5 out of 100 points. Again, 100 would basically just mean abolishing your rights altogether. So I don't think anybody would be capable of hitting that. But it does show California has some room for improvement there. The state of New York, 83.5. Illinois, these again are the worst states with 83. And then you have Connecticut with 82.5, Massachusetts 81, Hawaii 79.5. We got some room to restrict there, I guess, Hawaii. New Jersey coming up strong with 79, and Maryland at 75. These would absolutely be the states to avoid. Those are the worst states. So those would be the states to avoid if you actually enjoy having constitutional rights. So again, those are the highest on their list. Now, coming in fairly close here, we have Washington in 9th place with a score of 69. Oregon, 68. And if you were talking about Oregon just, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, it would have been completely flipped over. Oregon has changed quite a bit in recent years. Colorado is coming in at 63. Delaware in 12th place at 61. Rhode Island is going to be 57.5. Minnesota, 53.5. Virginia is coming in at 49. So we're getting close to the average here for their score. New Mexico, 40.5. And then we have 40 for Pennsylvania. Vermont, 39.5. Nevada, 35. Michigan, 35. So now we're starting to get into states that have fewer restrictions on your Second Amendment rights. So as we move down the list here, we have Wisconsin coming in at 28 and Florida at 27.5. So Wisconsin and Florida pretty close. North Carolina at 25. Nebraska 25, Maine 20.5. And now we get into the states after we hit the 25th. We've got 50 states to look at here. These are the better half of the country. So these states are the less restrictive half of the country. So we have Louisiana coming in at 20.5, and then West Virginia 18.5. Good for them. South Carolina at 18, Tennessee at 16.5, Indiana 16.5, Iowa 15.5, Texas, they give a score of 13.5 out of 100. Ohio at 13. Utah is going to be at 12. North Dakota at 11.5. Let's see here. We have Kansas at 9.5. You guys are doing good over there. Kansas is definitely one of those states you want to move to if you enjoy practicing your Second Amendment rights. Missouri coming in at a 9. New Hampshire at a 9. Kentucky at a 9. Alaska at a 9, Arizona 8.5, Oklahoma at a 7.5, Wyoming at 6.5. Well done, Wyoming. Very good for your Second Amendment rights. South Dakota 5.5, Georgia at a 5. Okay, these are the best states. So it goes from South Dakota being 5.5, almost the best for your Second Amendment rights, to Georgia being a 5, and each state below that. So we have Georgia, we have Montana at a 5, Idaho at a 5, Mississippi at a 3, and Arkansas at a 3. So the two best states for your Second Amendment rights, the best states that you could possibly move to would be Mississippi and Arkansas, according to this scorecard. And then the worst two states, with no big surprise there, California and New York. Now, obviously, I was being a little sarcastic there with some of my commentary on the states that had really high gun control, like in the 85 plus range, where I said that, hey, there's a little room for improvement. Every single one of these should be at 0. That's the way that the Second Amendment was written. It says shall not be infringed, but we have infringements. And even a 3 means that there are some laws infringing on people's rights. So obviously a perfect 0 scorecard all the way up to the top and bottom would be perfect, right? That would be the country that I would like to see. But nonetheless, they look at each state based on the laws that they have available and what type of infringements they have, and they put it down in this scorecard. And while they see it as New York and California being the two best states on the list, I see that as them being the two worst states for your Second Amendment rights on the list. And we just flip that thing upside down and we just go the other direction. But again, if we just take that list and we flip it on its head, we can see which states are the best for your Second Amendment rights. So if you're somebody who's contemplating a move and that information is important to you, now you can see it. So we basically just took their list and applied it the opposite direction. So I wanted to share that with you today. I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, and you guys have a great day.